Hello, welcome into the PHNX Rising podcast this Thursday, a little bit earlier than usual, coming to you at 4 o'clock for a very special reason. We've decided it's a great time to get rid of Max. Max is not here. We've upgraded a stat Lucky Reese is pumping the air in celebration over in the corner. We've gone with an upgrade here. No longer Max Simpson. We're joined by Phoenix Rising captain Darnell King. Darnell, how you doing?
Good. Very, very, very good. Very motivated and excited for the weekend. And sorry, Max, that's all Wayne saying that.
You don't need to apologize to Max.
Right, take it back.
We never apologize to Max.
Sorry,
Max.
Max.
Have you ever watched this podcast? We just rip on him the whole time.
I have.
Yeah, we rip on him the
That's
entire time,
That's
pretty
fair.
much. Yeah. We also, something else here that's better than Max. We got the USL Championship Western Conference
That's better
Trophy.
than a lot of things. Yes.
Indeed. Darnell thankfully brought this one along. So we're joined by, two special people. If the trophy counts as a person. You can tell I don't normally sit here hosting this. I leave this to Max normally.
It has feelings, so it's a person.
It has feelings. Yeah. It has feelings. There we go. But yeah, lots to talk about, of course.
Yeah.
Big win last weekend. Big game coming up on Sunday. And I'm sure the pressure's starting to slip in a little bit. Feel it a little bit at this point.
Yeah, it's cliche, but pressure makes diamonds. And, just getting ready for it, man. This is a championship game. Players have been here before, and you know what it takes to win. We did it once, and then hoping to do it again.
What would you say the overall atmosphere is like in the team at the moment?
Good, positive vibes. Very motivated. You come this far and you don't want to give anything up. So I would say it's positive, energetic, and the boys are just ready. My brothers are ready and they're hungry to go get this championship and do something that this club has never done. And bring it back for our city, our fans, our loved ones, and our organization.
You all packed and ready to go?
Yeah.
Bags packed at home?
Usually I really didn't unpack much from last trip. Obviously the ones that I wore, I washed them and then kind of just throw it back in the bag. Keep it simple.
Exact same clothes every single trip? Exact same everything?
The same. Just
Always
wash.
the same.
Just wash.
Always the same. Of course, we'll be keeping things the same as well. Myself and Max, when we making our trip over there, I'm traveling over tonight, not sleeping apparently. Thankfully they've got you at a better time, haven't they? So you are going to be sleeping.
Yes.
But make sure, of course, if you wanted to follow stuff along from Charleston, if you're not going to Charleston, make sure hop on over to the Discord if you're a diehard member. Always good stuff. We always put a load of exclusive content on there, and if you're not a diehard member, go to gophnx.com. Make sure to check it out there. You can sign up, you get a free t-shirt, all that good stuff, and of course unlock all the content on the website and manage to get into our Discord where myself and Max are just a little bit more gobby maybe than we even are publicly elsewise. But it's a fun place on there. You haven't seen that one, so we'll leave it in the secrets. Brother. Yeah, you stay off of that part. Stay off of that part. But, it has been a long run, of course, now. 3 games on the road. Mm-hmm. Some really just tense games even at that, right? It's last-minute winners pretty much every step of the way. How do you manage emotions like that in this kind of a run?
I think it speaks volumes to the guys that we have in this team and the type of professionals they are. To be willing to come in and make the plays that they've done and finish out games when they may not be going our way, like I said, speaks volumes to them. And, I love each and every one of these guys because they have that attitude and because they are so loyal to the game and respect the game so much that they'll do whatever it takes to win. And each one of them have shown that, guys who have been off the field, on the field, who have come in, who haven't even been in the lineup. It's been a very good atmosphere, and it's been keeping us motivated all around and hungry to keep fighting no matter what the circumstances. We fight to the end for like I said, the organization, the club, the fans, the city. So know that we'll die for it.
And for you as a captain, of course, how do you see your role in kind of managing those emotions?
Yeah, no, I think it's important to keep it light and keep it fresh. Obviously, I think guys have been here before and they know what's at stake. But I think the ultimate thing is keep doing what we have done to get to this point, and try not to overthink things and get caught up in the moment and just be in the present. I think that's an important thing. And, I was just kind of keep it the same week in, week out, because that's what's gotten us here this far, to this point. So, yeah, I mean, just, if I have conversations, it's the same conversations that I always have with the guys, fun, loving. Um, like I said, just keeping it light and just keeping it motivated. And obviously, there's a time for fun, and there's a time to be serious and focused on what we need to do to win these games.
And now you've been the captain here for 2 years now. You're coming towards the end of your second season. How much growth do you think you've had in that role over those 2 years?
I think a lot. I mean, obviously, you go through years and you experience different players and different attitudes and different egos. And I mean, obviously, you guys know this year was a lot of new players, so it was kind of a fresh start to get to know new guys and try and make it organic to get to know them as a person and see how we can bond as a group. And obviously, we've done things together throughout the year that I think have brought us closer, which also winning has brought us closer, and losing. I mean, everything that we've gone through this year has brought us closer. And obviously, last year, like I said, you deal with different people, and it was fine. Um, I had great relationships with guys from last year. It's just sometimes the season doesn't go your way. But for me, the growth has just been keep pushing no matter what the circumstance that I'm going through. You still have to lead a team to championship, and like I said, just trying to keep the egos, learn the guys, and understand who they are as a person, and try and make that a big circle within the group.
And obviously, you take on that leadership responsibility last year. It wasn't the easiest of years probably to do that, right? It was a pretty tough year with the team. But how did you deal with that? Mentally trying to settle into that role while it was also quite turbulent and.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of who I am. I mean, obviously, when things are going rough, sometimes fingers get pointed at you, and that's okay. I mean, at the same time, that's the role that I'm in, and I'm willing to step in front of a bullet for all my teammates. Um, but at the same time, it's important that I think I need to keep a level head, because if I cave, the guys who follow me can start to fall in the same route. So I think it was important for me to just keep pushing and keep fighting and just play like every game was your last, because I think that's important. It shows that even in the down moments, you're still fighting to do the best for whatever the circumstances. Um, so yeah, I would say just stay level headed for me.
Getting through that, obviously, as you said, some people did point fingers. Some people do doubt you going into that role. Does any of that play on your mind when you get into a moment where, like, you're lifting a trophy like this one, that you've managed to get past all of that and just almost prove people wrong?
Yeah, I mean, everybody in the world has an opinion, and that's okay. I mean, there's no right or wrong. I don't think. I mean, people are going to say things to me that I believe are right or wrong, and they believe it's right. So it's whatever. Um, does it feel good? Absolutely, because it shows that I triumphed over something that people didn't believe in. That's like a big thing for me when somebody says I can't do it and then I accomplish it. That's huge for me, and it's not me. It's the team. The fact that we accomplished something that um, was doubtful for me personally, for when people were saying that wasn't the role for me. It just speaks for me, and not saying this in a bragging way, volumes to who I am as a person, and that I'm resilient, and I will keep pushing no matter what until the job is done, as long as I'm still in that role. So, um, yeah, you guys, things can be said. You just take it with a light, heavy heart, and then try and make the best of it and turn it around and show them that
Tell
you're
you what,
bigger than that.
though, there has been some other changes in your life since taking that
Yeah.
that role on. One person actually asking here, Gullyman Pat in the chat saying, "How's this season been different now that you are indeed a father?"
It's amazing, man. I mean, even if he doesn't really know what's going on, it's cool to see him at the games and walk on the field with him. It's very motivational, man. He's my one of my biggest motivations. And yeah, it's been amazing, man, to have him kind of see whatever he takes in. Just to see his smile sometimes when he's out there with me is just nice, because this is what I love to do. It's what I've always loved to do, and to have my son there, being able to watch what I love to do is an unspeakable feeling.
How's the sleep going for you, though?
Good, man. You get used to it. You just kind of fall into. I'm sure all the dads out there know. You just kind of fall into it and do it for your little one. And no matter what, I got 26 kids to take care of when I get to training anyway. So that's what it is. Nothing changes when I get home.
You know, you're not the only person who's described it as being like that, being in a position of influence over some of the players.
I guess that's what happens when you get older. You just kind of have to say that type of stuff.
Absolutely. And you hope, well, here's the question, right? You've had the picture with him with the trophy as well. How are you gonna work him in there if you do end up with another trophy?
Same way. I'll just get him in there.
Get him in there.
Excuse me, security guard, get over here. Gotta get my boy in here with this photo. No, I think that's a great moment. You know, obviously, the job still needs to get done, so we can accomplish that and bring that home. But yeah, I mean, when we do it, he'll be there, giving a nice sit on top of the cup, and then get a nice little picture with him.
Well, you can have your picture with the cup, of course. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yes.
Have your little boy out there with you as well, and potentially may have to have a couple of beers out of the cup should you get to that point as well.
That's standard.
You know, I'm just saying, if we were drinking them here in Arizona, I know what I would be personally filling it up with. I'd be filling it up with some Four Peaks. Four Peaks, of course. We love some of the stuff there. The Wow. We got the different IPAs, the Hazy. There's this Kilt Lifter, of course, the classic. And look, I know typically when I go out to a Rising game, I get back home at night, I go straight in the fridge, and what do? I pick out a Wow. As long as there's some in the fridge. And when I get back there and there's no Wow in the fridge, I'm very, very disappointed. But you can also go head out, of course, to their 8th Street pub. Always a great time there. Been there many, many times. Drunk many, many beers that I'm not going to go into quite how many I've drunk there in the past. Make sure to visit Four Peaks Pub on social media, and you can check them out as well at Four Peaks Brew to keep up with the latest Arizona's hometown brewery. And of course, you must be 21 or over to drink Four Peaks. And of course, going to be a lot of star power out on the field, I think, coming up now in this final. Might need to cover up your eyes a little bit. Might need to get yourself some Shady Rays. That's right. I'm bringing the cringy transitions from Max. We're going to get those really, really cringy transitions in there. Premium polarized shades, of course. Max had a little bit of a slip up actually when he was out in Las Vegas. Have you heard about this one, Darnell?
No. Let's hear.
No. Okay, well he had the Shady Rays like kind of on, you know, just hanging down like that, and Juan walked over and gave him a bear hug, and the Shades met their demise. But of course, they do have that warranty. You can go on. They back the lost and broken replacements all the time. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they'll send you a brand new pair. No questions asked. So Max is back now, of course, rocking his Shady Rays. And exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com. Use code PHNX for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. Okay, Darnell, let's get back on track now, looking back a little bit further in the past, right? We've spoken quite a bit there about these last 2 years, but we're going to have to turn that clock back a little bit further now.
Okay.
We're going back to 2020.
Okay.
Your first year with Phoenix Rising, and we actually have a question from one of our diehards to kind of kick this one off here, from Michael Vanderplas, saying, you're the only player left on this team from the 2020 season. How is this team different from that one?
It's a good question. Nice. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm trying to think back. You know, I would say for me, it took a bit longer to gel. I wasn't in this role when I came in 2020. So I was in a role of me having to adapt to a very strong team. And that team was very bonded before I got there. And I think being the type of player that I am, they made it very easy for me to transition, as well as me being easy to transition into that. So I would say just different in the sense of the way it all came together, how this is a group of new players. but they're very much the same in how they've become bonded with each other. Everybody's very competitive on and off the field, whatever we do. And that's kind of how it was in 2020. I can't really specify many different players. I think there's heavy quality in both of those teams. I mean, you had Solo, Junior. You had very big players on that first team. I mean, we had Rufat. And here you have Trejo, you have Manu, you have Darius. You have so many high caliber players on both teams that it's a bit similar to me, just different people. It's a very loving group, like I said, a very competitive group, and I think that's what brings us so close together and makes both of these teams very strong teams, as you can see from the past and now. So sorry if I didn't answer your question, Vanderplas, but I think some good similarities within the two.
All right. And as you look at now, then you get into the playoffs, right? And there's all kind of adversity, right? There's just what's going on in the world at large, even at that point. And then you got stuff happening on and stuff happening off the field that just, you kind of get to that point where someone told me earlier today that it was like that team back then, they just kind of willed their way as a group, just as players, to kind of fight through all of that. And there wasn't necessarily much that even the coaching staff were doing at that point. It was just the players kind of all sat down and committed, like, no, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go all the way. Is that kind of how it felt from your perspective as well?
Yeah, I think I don't take away anything from the coaching staff in 2020 or now. I think it was a collective effort. Do I think there was a solid group that played very well together in 2020? Yes. Do I think we built something very solid in 2023? Yes. So I would say there's a bit of a difference there. But I think, yeah, that one in 2020, you saw our banner, it was kill their will. And I think every time we played, that's what we tried to do. And here is the same. You know, we're trying to kill teams' wills, but at the same time, we're very structured and organized in how we play. And it's slightly different in that aspect. So kind of two different styles, but one in the same of killing the will to win the league or win the championship.
And of course, you get to the final that year. It didn't happen in the end. Can you take me back now? Just how did you hear that news that they weren't going to play the game?
Yeah, that was tough, man. And I think it's tough for, I mean, I talked to guys back then, and it's still tough because they didn't get to satisfy that year. We found out after traveling there. I mean, we made the trip, and they kind of said, and you know, that year was crazy for the world. So it was like, imagine, you know, players here that haven't seen their families in a long time, and they're asking to play in another 3 weeks. So it was tough to hear that news because we were so ready, especially how we won that game before. Like, we were ready to go to war against the Rowdies, and just an unfortunate situation on how it happened. You know, we'll never know what could have happened. I would have taken it home.
Do you think you would have won it?
Yeah, of course. That's the way that's the way I'm feeling. That's the way I felt in the moment. So just the way we were playing and the motivation that we had going into that game and the things we endured to get to that point, it was just kind of one of those. I just had a feeling like this would be the icing on top, the cherry on top, how did they say? But yeah, I mean, it was tough. It was a tough way to hear that we weren't going to play that game, and you know, COVID kind of struck. So it is what it is. It's life.
Obviously, you know, there's no one else now on the playing side that went through that here. Have you had that conversation with any of the other guys about that year and, you know, just the club and for the fans getting so close? And
yeah, I actually spoke with Zach and Big Lubin, and you know, it was a bummer for him because he had a really good playoff run there, great season, and you know, after that it was tough for him. I think he's stopped playing, and that was just like a big moment for him. And you know, it's been tough, but like we said, you know, we're professionals, and you know, we move on. We'll live with it, but yeah, it sucked, and you know, and I can feel it when you know he talks about it, and it is what it is. But yeah, it would have been great to see what the outcome would have been. Yeah, I'm saying that we would have won, and I believe that. But, you know, whatever the outcome, at least we would have known that we fought all the way to the end to see what would have happened. So
And how is that kind of experience playing into, I guess, what you're feeling now going into this game on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm hoping that doesn't happen like that again.
I think we're all hoping that doesn't happen
again. That happened. I might flip tables. But no, I think it's extra motivation. It's been 3 years, and to get back to this point after the last 2 years we had, it feels like Phoenix Rising again. It feels like what we've been known to be and what our fans know us to be. I think it's extra motivation now because we've been here before and we didn't get that chance to do it, and now the opportunity's in our hands, so the destiny is in our hands. So yeah, like I said, it's extra motivation, and I'm stoked for it. Obviously, like I'm saying, staying level-headed, but very ready. I know we're going to go play a good team. So we gotta be ready and firing on all cylinders in every position.
Indeed. Well, it's another game on the road coming up this weekend, which means I know some of you guys, there's a good number of people have bought tickets, a good number of people are getting ready to travel over there. Some of you are not. And of course, I know that some of you who've been staying here in the Valley, you've been going out to Valley Tap Room. Always a good time over at Valley Tap Room. They've got the games on there. They have been throughout these last few weeks. And of course, that big selection of beer as well. 30 odd taps there, which might have to go and check that out again once I get back from Charleston. And there's a lot of beer. There's a lot of beer in there, okay? It's good stuff. It's good stuff. They got a whole... We actually, when we first went around there, they had a beer that was Danny Trejo. Not, of course, the Phoenix Rising Danny Trejo, but it's close enough.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Literally word for word.
Exactly. It's close enough. Yeah. Close enough. You just stick by the name. And make sure you go check them out, right? Always a good time over at Valley Tap Room. Make sure to check out their happy hour. They also do occasionally different events on the weekends as well. Loads of good stuff. Check them out on Instagram at Valley Tap Room and visit them off the 202 and Gilbert. And of course, with the big game coming up this weekend, if you're starting to struggle a little bit with those nerves, need to just chill out, you can check out our friends at OG. Stuff's getting really hectic, but thankfully our buds at OG's brands are back at it with exclusive deals with PHNX listeners, and they've made it super easy for you to score those savings. You can get 25% off any OG's product at your neighborhood Zenleaf location from now until November 30th when you place an online order and use our code. The code is PHNX. Just head to zenleafdispensaries.com. Find your closest location, order your favorite OG's gummies for pickup, and enter that discount code PHNX to get 25% off at checkout. Deals exclusive for our PHNX listeners. Remember, it's only available for online and pickup orders. Discount code's PHNX, and that runs through till November 30th. Just in case maybe need a little bit of help getting off to sleep, with all the nerves right now. Maybe need a little bit of help getting off to sleep if you're taking a red eye like I am tonight over out to the East Coast. But yeah, you know what? Let's go back now. We've spoken about the past. We've spoken about, just getting into your role as captain now. But, we had a couple of extra diehard questions in there. Then we'll have a look through some of those now. What are the main goals you started the season with, and how are they looking now?
I think your transitions are on point, brother.
Okay, I'm getting support for this.
Maybe I'm old school, but I think they're...
He likes him. Darnell likes him. That approval, I'll take it. I'll take it.
That's solid. I think our goals, obviously the goals are to win trophies and to kind of, going off the last 2 years, kind of turn the season around and make it better, obviously. But I think right now we have one. So I would say it's going pretty well. But like I said, there's one more to go, and I think everybody, not just players, I think fans and the city know that there's one more to go, and I think that is it's big for everybody because they know what's at stake, and they know that the job isn't done. So I would say, where we are in our goals right now is very well, especially coming with a whole new team that we've had. To be where we are, I think we've accomplished a lot of the goals, mini goals that we've set. We start with little ones, and as we hit those milestones, we reach this. And I think we've done that because this kind of tells you that we've done that. So I think we're doing well, but the ultimate goal has been the ultimate goal since this has started. So that's what we're looking to do. And I'll talk to you again after that job is done.
So how optimistic were you at the start of the season you were going to make the playoffs?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
How optimistic at the start of the season were you were going to make the playoffs with this team?
No, I mean, I had faith. You know, in this league that anything can happen. I mean, you saw us go through the year. We lost to one of the bottom-ranked teams, but then we're also beating top-ranked teams, and that's just kind of how this league is. It's growing. It's getting better players, and you just never know what can happen as it goes through. I had belief that we were going to go to this point, and we're here now, so didn't matter if there was 21 new guys. It is a long season. But you only can say that for a certain amount of time because then it becomes a very short season. It becomes very quick and rapid. So in the beginning, started a bit rocky, but we started turning it around. And like I said, we're here now. And yeah, it's kind of how it is, man. We're just going to go get this bad boy done.
We had another question in from one of our diehards. I believe this one was from Albert. What's been the most challenging aspect of this season? We'll start with that part and then get on to the other.
Okay. What's been the most challenging aspect of this season? Geez, tough question. I would say just I would say more in the beginning, trying to get everybody to gel. I think it's a project that, you know, when you step into this role and people want results quick. And sometimes when you're starting a project, you may not get that right off the bat. But in due time, if you trust the process, you hear that a lot from different people, you can see that it pans out. So, I mean, I think not only did the players do it, but I think it shows that, you know, the fans did as well. But I think the players trusted the process so much that it put us in this position. So it was tough at first just to understand everybody and each individual, but once we did, we realized like, okay, we're all here for the same reason. We're all on the same page. So let's get to where we want to get to and accomplish our goals. So I would say that was probably the toughest, just kind of getting everybody to gel. But once that clicked, that optimism that you were talking about went out the window. Not that I ever had it.
And on the other hand, this is the second part of Albert's question. What has brought the most joy?
Yeah, no.
For those listening on audio, Darnell just looks straight at the trophy.
Yeah, no, trophies bring joy. But for me, being here for the last 3 years, just the joy for me is having that feeling of how I felt when I came here my first year, that winning feeling, that fire in the stadium. Kind of speaks to the Phoenix, you know, like that blazing fire behind the Phoenix. And just the brotherhood that has been formed with so many new players from so many different backgrounds. The locker room for me has been big. That has been one of my biggest joys, to see my brothers come together from so many different backgrounds and become one to accomplish the main thing that we have to accomplish, this and then the next one, obviously. So, I mean, that's been a big one for me. Obviously, everybody has different joys, but for me, that's one. And obviously the trophy, but I would say the biggest one is having that brotherhood, be able to come together and be one.
Well, you know, mentioning all of that, what do you think then are some of the biggest moments throughout the course of this season that have just brought that team together, that have helped form those bonds?
Biggest moments, man. I can't really think back. I'm thinking to the most recent ones. I mean, it's late on. There was many things before that brought us close together. I mean, we've done things, like I said, off the field, bowling, boat day, different things that just kind of bring the group together. But I would say when we had the feeling that everybody is involved, players not in the 18, super involved, galvanizing the boys, players that aren't starting, coming in and changing games, winning games, putting us in the position that we are now. I would say that's monumental to what this team is and who this team is. And sorry, I might have jumped off topic. I'm going back to like the joy that I had in my head. What was the question? Sorry.
About the moments that brought the team
together. These moments that have happened in these games, and just the times we've been together, the dinners that we have together, away trips, playing 22, every little thing that happens, interaction between each other, are the moments that bring us to this point today. You know, the stories in the journey, and the journey has, for me, seeing these guys grow together, There's been ups, downs, tough times in the locker rooms amongst players, but the fact that we can drop it and the next day go back to work on the ultimate goal has been everything for me. So, but I think the biggest one is seeing, guys come in that may not be playing a lot and being such an impact. And that puts, a lot of trust within the players that are starting because you have it already to know that the job will get done no matter what. So you just need to be there for your brother and we'll see what happens in the end.
Yeah, actually one thing there, Michael pointing out there, Patrick's been one of those guys who's just kind of on the fringe constantly, doesn't really see playing time. But what's he been like just for the team?
One of the most supportive, experienced, loving brothers in that locker room. No matter what the circumstance, he's always fighting 100% every day. He comes to work every day and puts on the top performance. And Patrick's a guy who wants the best out of everybody. So he'll let you know if you're not doing something proper or in the right path for the team. And he gets that respect. And I give him that respect. And I tell him, tell me the same. And I've been ripped by Patrick before. And, it just speaks volume to the leadership that he has. And it helps, amongst the older players that have been there. Because, Patrick has been there. Patrick has won it. So it's not like he doesn't know what he's talking about. So I love this guy. He's my brother, and he's one of the best leaders that I've ever played with. And hell of a goalkeeper is too. I can tell you
that. We actually had a super sticker in there from Saley, who's just said, what is it? Is it a Shiba dog in samurai armor holding a golden trophy?
You can see it on YouTube.
You can see it on YouTube. We can't see it here.
It's a very cute
but it's
sticker.
holding a trophy. There we go. That could
Shiba dog?
Yeah.
It's like a little sticker thing on YouTube.
Okay, who on the team would you say is closest to a Shiba dog? This is the real content now. These are the real difficult questions.
What they look like or how they act?
I don't know. Either. Up to you. Interpret it how you will.
Okay, let me ask, because I don't have a Shiba. Are they energetic dogs?
Leah, can you...
I don't really know the characteristics of a Shiba.
Well, let's just say there's an energetic Shiba. My boy Gallardo got that on lock. This guy keeps the energy immaculate in the locker room with the music, the dancing, the quality, the spark that he plays with. This guy is one of those that can put a smile on your face when you walk into the locker room just by his contagious smile. So, boys got that on lock. Energetic Shiba. I don't know if they're energetic, but that's what I say.
Back to the football a little bit now. In the season, of course, coming full circle, right? You started in Charleston, the regular season over there. It's where the year is going to finish. Do you think there are any lessons from the last time that you went there that you could or should apply now?
Yeah, so I would say we played them first game of the season. That was us brand new. That was us still trying to learn each other. I think you're getting a different bit of Phoenix Rising, a more gelled, a seasoned Phoenix Rising. And, I mean, for them, as well. They're new players on their team, and you're getting a seasoned Charleston battery. Do I take learning from them? I don't know. It's hard to remember that game. We've done our footage about it, and that I just take it on the week that we do footage of them to understand their role. Like I said, anything can happen any weekend of these games. So we do our research and we prepare the best way we can for them, and we go and focus on ourselves and make sure that we're doing the right things, and may the best man win.
Yeah, and a couple of former teammates over there, of course, who played here in Phoenix, right? In AJ Cochran, in Arturo Rodriguez. What's it going to be like coming up against those guys?
These guys were my brothers, and they still are. But, when it comes to you playing on an opponent, you're my enemy for the 95 plus or however long it may take. After the game, it is what it is. We become brothers again because, like I said, I shared the pitch with these guys. But I'm sure as well as they know, it's a war. So I'm fighting for my club, my city, this badge that we wear, our fans. So I hope they understand that. If they don't, well, they're in for a rude awakening because that's what our boys are ready to do. So whoever's on that team, we're coming to perform and fight for a championship. Doesn't matter who they are, but like I said, after the game, shake hands, be buddies again, and move on if they want.
I'll take a couple of questions from the chat in here before I move on to my last couple here. But going around, Pat, who controls the music in the locker room?
Yeah, so when they wanted, a little throwbacks and stuff like that, that's probably me. But a lot of the time, I don't play reggaeton or a lot of the Latin music, so I get kicked off fairly quickly. Gallardo is on there a lot. Eddie has a decent playlist. Mo has a good playlist, but I would say it's usually me because, I have years of experience with music. These guys don't, so I hit all the generations. But yeah, probably me.
Tell you what, we'll take Eric's one as well about how different is the Rising locker room from the locker room in the show Ted Lasso? Who would you line up with different characters then if you had to?
Oh gosh, have to go through. Let me see. Jamie Tart, is that his name? That's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's Panos. Panos is my boy. He knows I love him. But trying to think of other characters. Shoot, who's the guy? The captain, the kind of brute force guy.
Roy Kent?
No.
Roy
In the
later
we can
ones.
talk about Roy Kent. Who would Roy Kent be?
Oh, Isaac is the captain.
Yeah, I would say that could be Pat. That could be
Okay.
Isaac. Roy Kent? Jeez. I don't know if we have a Roy Kent in there. I'd have to think hard about this. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I could say Danny Stone could be a Roy Kent at times when he wants to be. Very nice human, but I feel like if he wanted to flip a switch, he could turn into a Roy Kent.
Yeah, I could possibly see it.
I don't know how Roy Kent was on the Danny Trejo, Danny Rojas. Oh gosh, that's pretty funny. But I don't know. It's hard. There's too many characters on my team and in that show, so it's hard to balance. I could be off, but I think the first one was very accurate.
Who do you think you'd be closest to?
Jeez, I don't know, man. It's hard because there's so many characters in that show. I just can't really remember. I don't know. You have to put a lineup in front of me. Maybe somebody can answer it in the chat who I would be.
Yeah, put in the chat if you've got any ideas for who you would compare Darnell to. Go ahead and put it in the chat. But as we move on, though, of course, tomorrow you get in.
I'll take that. Take that.
Okay. We got Saul in the back shouting out Avesanya.
Danny Rojas is football is life all the time. Emmy cannot get a ball off of his foot. You can't get him to take a ball away from his foot. This guy loves the game. So football
Except
is
when he's
life.
hitting one in the last minute.
Yeah.
When he's hitting in the last minute and then he's in the back of the net. Then
who do you say? Who's in the show that does that? You see, you can't compare the two because there's guys who do different things.
No.
But I don't know. It's tough. You have to put that lineup in front of me and then I can doppelganger them.
But as you look now to tomorrow, of course, you got the send-off, the open training down at the stadium. How important is it, just speaking to the fans now for this team to get a good send-off from the fans?
Very important, man. The last couple that we've had have been, heartwarming and shows the players that they're always there for us. And we appreciate that. And we want to give back in the way that we can for as much as you guys sacrifice for us. And to be there, seeing you guys see us off is an amazing feeling because we know that you guys care, and that's never a question. But we want to make it special for you guys as well. So just know that we're going to fight, and we hope to see you on the send-off when we go to Charleston. And obviously, we want to see you there as well. So
there are a lot of people making the trip over.
Love to hear it.
Love to hear it. And have you already thought about what your last words are going to be now, leaving that locker room to your teammates? I'll get there eventually, before the game on Sunday.
Yeah, sometimes it comes off the dome when I'm in there. But I would say leave it all on the field. Know this is a war. Know that this 90 minutes, we have to die for it because we've come this far. And no matter what, I love every one of them. And let's go get the job done. Pretty much it. Something along the lines of that. It might be a little more different words I use in it, but yeah. It's usually how it goes.
I don't know. You heard Saul shouting earlier. You can use those words on here.
This seat is still a bit hot from when he was sitting here, but it's all right.
When they were arguing on here earlier. I tell you what, though, you look at all these trips. You look at just, I swear, making us go on 4 straight road trips, Darnell. Come on, man.
Telling you
Do
what.
you understand how much this eats into the travel budget right there? We've got to find ways to save money.
I understand, but we just like to make it interesting.
Like to make it interesting. But
love to have it at home, but is what it is. I had to run through Cali and then let's go take it to the East Coast.
Well, if you want to save money because you're spending it all apparently on traveling for Phoenix Rising, make sure to sign up for the Circle K Inner Circle program. Completely free. You save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups at Circle K. And they got loads of other specials on there in terms of getting free snacks, free drinks, all that good stuff. Make sure to join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply, of course. Go ahead, visit circlek.com for details on that. Now, you know what? We do actually have a little bit of an announcement there.
We just wanted to show you some nice places.
Yeah, it's not, well, some nice, some not so nice. I mean,
it's all up
we
to
were in
the person.
Sacramento last weekend, Darnell.
It's all up to the person. Some people like it, some people don't. I don't know.
Who likes Sacramento?
I don't know. I didn't talk to anybody. I'm just saying.
I mean, people choose to live there, I guess. Which
I didn't talk to anybody. I'm just saying.
San Diego was nice.
Okay. Like I said, take it to some nice places. I also said some.
Yeah, some. That's true. That's true. Hey, it could have been worse. There are worse places to play in this league.
No comment.
We'll leave them without naming them. But, if you are making the trip out to Charleston, unlike Darnell, sorry, you probably won't be able to join us for this one because I think you're going to need to get your rest in. But Saturday night, we're actually going to have a little bit of a meetup. And Max is buying beers. Max is buying beers. Meet us at the Rusty Bull Brewing Company in downtown Charleston on Saturday, November the 11th, 7 p.m. until we get bored of there or it closes. Likely the latter, to be perfectly honest, especially if Max is buying beers all night. Hop on over there. We'll be drinking. We'll be having a good time. And then we got to get a little bit of sleep in because the following day, on Sunday, we will be back there at the Rusty Bull Brewing Company in downtown Charleston. 11:30 a.m. local time over there. We're going to be doing a special PHNX Rising pregame show live from that bar. That's 9:30 a.m. if you're here still in Arizona and want to watch along. We've got special guests coming in. It's going to be a good time rotating through a lot of different people in terms of both media, in terms of people from the team. It's going to be a good time. Make sure to tune in if you're not going to Charleston. And if you are going to Charleston, make sure to swing on by and join us there. I'm sure it'll be a great time. But, for now, Darnell, it's been a pleasure having you in here.
Thank you. It's tough when Max isn't here to protect himself. He gets...
well, Max is here. He doesn't protect himself.
Fair enough.
He's an easy target.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is what it is, brother.
It is what it is. But thank you for taking the time to come on in. And if you wanted to just forget something that you may have left on this table, then
that can't happen.
That can't happen. Okay, it does have to make the trip back with you. But Darnell, thanks for coming along. It's been great having you here, and I'm sure our chat had a great time arguing over who would be what Ted Lasso character and all of that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, I'll get it all set up and try and put it out to you. I'll send you a text for the pictures next to each other. Get it sorted.
Any last message for the people watching at home?
Thank you guys for all your support. We love you, and let's go get this championship.
There we go. You heard him. You heard him. Make sure, again, if you're staying here, tune in at 9:30 a.m. on Sunday morning. We'll get you ready for that game in the evening. The game, of course, 5 o'clock Arizona time. We'll see you then. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.